Okay, this is lesson 4.15, module 4, lesson 15, and your learning goal today is we're going to extend what we've been doing with unit fractions and non-unit fractions multiplying. So today we're really going to culminate this in multiplying non-unit fractions by non-unit fractions. Additionally, we've been really working on using drawings, and today we will continue to use drawings, but we're going to start to relate it to just numbers as well, and we're going to see how drawings and numbers show the same thing. Once again, please refer to your notes from Mrs. Swanson today in class to talk about the problem of the day. Okay, here we're finding 2/3 of 3/4. So let's draw a picture. If we're finding 2/3 of 3/4, we need to first draw 3/4. So I'm going to shade in 3/4 of a whole. Now if I'm going to find 2/3 of it, I know I need to divide that into thirds the other way. So here are thirds, and I want to find 2 of those thirds. So that would be all of this section right here. This is 2/3. I'm going to label it 2/3. Now I can see that I've divided my entire unit into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units. So my denominator is going to be 12, right? And these 6 units are double colored in. They're both black and blue. So I can see that 2/3 of my original 3/4 is 6/12, or we can simplify that to 1/2. This is very similar to what we were doing yesterday, except now we don't have a unit fraction over here, and so we have to shade in more than one of those rows. Now let's relate that to a number method. We know that 2/3 of 3/4 is 2/3 times 3/4. Looking at this up here, we know we expect it to be 6/12. Well, we can notice a pattern that 2 times 3 in the numerator and 3 times 4 in the denominator would give us a product of 6/12, which is 1/2, which is the same as what we got when we drew the picture. Now let's do this again. Again, we're going to do a picture as well as the numbers. So if I have 2/3 of 2/3, well, there's thirds, and let's shade in 2 of those thirds. Now we don't want these entire 2/3 though. We only want 2/3 of the 2/3. So again, I have to split it into thirds going this way, and I want 2 of those thirds. So there they are, 2/3. So 2/3 of 2/3. Well, now I can see that I've split my entire drawing into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units. So 9 will be my denominator. And I can see that 4 of them were shaded in twice when I did the 2/3 of the 2/3. Therefore, 4/9 will be our product. Now let's relate it to the numbers. 2/3 times 2/3 will be the same as in the numerator 2 times 2, and in the denominator 3 times 3. 2 times 2, of course, is 4 in the numerator, and 3 times 3 is 9 in the denominator. Again, we're proving that the number and the picture way are one and the same. Let's try it in a word problem context. It says that Nigel completes 3/7 of his homework immediately after school. That's so great of Nigel. And then 1/4 of the remaining before supper. Then he finishes the rest of his homework after he eats dessert. The question's asking us what fraction of his work did he finish after dessert? Okay, well, let's draw a tape diagram. If this is all of his homework, we know that Nigel completes 3/7 of it right away. So we're going to divide these into sevens. 3, 4, 5, 6 lines will give me 7. And these 3 right here, he finishes right away after school. After school. Now, this is what he has left, right? So this is 3/7. What he has left right after his school, he has 4/7. But he doesn't do those all in one sitting. He finishes 1/4 of the remaining, and this is the remaining right here. He finishes 1/4 of it before he eats dinner. So actually, conveniently, it's into fourths already. So this is before dinner. Okay, now the rest, which is this amount right here, he is finishing after dessert. The question's asking what fraction of all of his work does he have after dessert? Well, we can see here he has let me write it the other way. He has 1, 2, 3 sevenths left to do after dessert. So the answer would be 3 sevenths. Now, let's see if we can use numbers to achieve the same thing. When Nigel finishes 3 sevenths of his homework right after school, we can see that he has 4 sevenths left to do. And he does 1/4 of that remaining 4 sevenths before dessert, which means he has 3/4, because if he already did 1/4, he has 3/4 left of the 4 sevenths to do after he eats dessert. Well, we know we can do 3/4 times 4 sevenths. So 3/4 times 4 sevenths, which now we know with numbers would be 3 times 4 over 4 times 7, which is 12 over 28. Now both of those numbers are divisible by 2. Actually, they're both divisible by 4. So 12 divided by 4, let me make some room here. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And 28 divided by 4 is 7. So again, we end up with 3 sevenths of all of his work. So again, we've proven that pictures and numbers are related, and in fact, they are the exact same thing.